everyone, my name's Miranda and today I'm here to review part 1 of the Flash Arrow Supergirl verse crossover. And it's so hard to believe when I sat down and watched this. This is the 4th crossover I believe that they've had. Like, that's just crazy to me to think of how far this show has come, you know, like from that first crossover of just Barry over to now having Supergirl, to having Lois Lane, to having Superman, to having all these characters and all these plots and powers all come together is really, really awesome. So Elseworld Part 1 was basically setting up what's going to happen in the rest of the crossover and how, you know, who they're going to have to fight and stuff like that, kind of getting the questions before we get the answers. So the big thing with this episode was finding out that Barry and Oliver have somehow switched lives. Not bodies, just lives. So Oliver Queen is Barry Allen and Barry Allen is now Oliver Queen. I think it's such a cute idea too because it really allows Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin to kind of be different than the actors they normally are, you know, like they got to play very, very different characters, but also characters that were put in different situations than they normally would. Like, I love seeing Oliver wake up and being so confused by Iris and just how like lovey-dovey she is and how, you know, that's like Barry's everyday life is just like her making pancakes and being so considerate and blah blah blah, and you know, Barry's is getting his ass kicked by Diggle because that's just Oliver's life. So I think it was really, really cute to see that. Like, I loved how they handled it and how they, you know, kind of were both really, really surprised. Like, Oliver was more like, this needs to stop, and Barry was more like, this is amazing, until he found out that, you know, that meant Iris wasn't going to be with him, she was going to be with who she thought was Barry. I would have loved to see Felicity too. I don't know why Felicity wasn't on it. I guess maybe just too many people, but I mean, we did see Diggle, so like it would have been interesting to see Felicity too. That was also kind of like the big meaning of the episode, was even Kara pointed it out, like they couldn't really use their powers correctly, use each other's powers correctly until they started acting more like each other. So we saw at the end, I think more so, definitely we saw it with Oliver, but like he's just like in the background like doing a thumbs up and is like, I got this. But like what really cemented it for me was when they thought they defeated Amazo the first time and Oliver was like, oh, we did it, and Barry was like, we got lucky. Like, they had completely become each other, and I feel like even Barry being like, you have failed this city, blah blah blah, he was just like so intense and so dark and so pessimistic, whereas Oliver instead was like giving thumbs up and being like, we got this, guys, go team, and everything like that. So I really liked seeing that because I just think it was really, really like funny to see them acting like complete opposites of who they are. The issue I had was with like how Iris and I guess like the whole episode kind of crept on Oliver Queen in his life. Like, I feel like Iris was like, you have to promise me that you won't become Oliver Queen, blah blah blah, and I was like, Oliver's been through a lot and he's still kicking. Like, he doesn't have the healthiest coping mechanisms, but who does? Barry, your loving husband, screwed up the timeline at least 2 times in major ways for everyone he loves in his life. So like, I just didn't like how they kind of knocked Oliver down to put Barry up in a way, you know, saying like that the way, because it's true, the way Oliver deals with things isn't always the healthiest, but at the same time he's learned, he's changed, and he's trying to be better, and Barry has learned and made mistakes too. So I feel like in trying to say that like Barry's light and airy way is better than Oliver's, like, no, they're just different and there's nothing wrong with that. They both have things they need to learn, they both have mistakes they've made. Like, I don't get why they were kind of like just crapping on Oliver in a way. Like, if they had been like, if they had framed it more so in like, this way won't work for you, I think I would have understood that more. Like, this isn't you, like you're not like Oliver and Oliver is not like you. I feel like I would have been more okay with that, but just in the way of framing it like, Oliver's bad, like don't act like him, you need to act like Barry. Like, that was really weird to me. I did love when Oliver was just reading Barry's life and like ruining it. When it was like, oh, what, you can't do anything without your wife in your ear, you can't go 9 minutes without a happy little pep talk. Like, I was like, someone had to say it, you know that, oh my gosh, you know that gif of like that woman that just, I think she like has a drink in her hand and then like a hoodie on and she's just like, and it's just like, someone had to say it. Like, the funniest thing though was like they say that and then how does this episode end? With a motivational speech from Iris. I was like, you guys, you can't just point out your flaws and not improve upon them. We also got to see Kara and Clark in this episode, which was really, really awesome, just doing their thing on the farm. This was our first, I believe, I haven't been keeping up with Supergirl, but I think it's the first look at Lois Lane, who was really, really awesome. She's no Amy Adams. Amy Adams will always be Lois Lane. I just love her as Lois. But she was really intrepid, and you know, she had that go-getter attitude, and she kept up with Clark. Like, their chemistry was really, really cute, how they just bantered back and forth, and Kara was like, I didn't get in the middle of this. And I liked seeing how she, you know, keeps him on his toes, and she doesn't let him just be like, no, it's not safe. She's like, it's not safe for anyone, like, but I've got to do this, you know? I wish she had come with them to the other Earth, because I don't know how they talked her out of not doing that, because like that's something right up her alley, you know, and she was like, if you don't, I'll go. Like, I thought they were going to bring her with them, and that would have been pretty cool, and she could have helped them like figure out how to stop Amazo and stuff like that. So I was disappointed with that, but maybe she'll be back, hopefully more on Supergirl's part of this crossover, because I really want to see more of her. I love Lois and Clark together. I think they're such a good couple no matter who's playing them. So like, to actually see Lois, I'm super excited to see more of her. So hopefully we get more of her in the crossover. And then also Batwoman. I was so excited. You don't understand when Oliver was like, we need to go to Gotham City. I was like, and I wonder if there's been mentions of Bruce Wayne before on Arrow, just like name dropping, so I wonder if like we're gonna get some like Batman or Bruce Wayne name dropping in this episode, aside from Wayne Industries obviously, but seeing Batwoman at the end just standing up there. I'm so excited to see Batwoman, because she's a character that I've never seen on screen before. I'm not sure how Ruby Rose is gonna do. I really don't have any gauge for her acting outside of the Meg, and I don't think that should be how you judge anyone's acting, is the Meg. So I'm excited to see just their take on Batwoman and what she's like, if she's like Batman and, you know, kind of dark and gritty, and how she fits into all this and helps them, because as of now, Barry and, I keep wanting to say Barry now, Barry and Oliver are still switched. They still have each other's powers. They're figuring out how to control them a bit better, but it's not good on their psyche, I guess you could say, because like, especially for like Barry, he's like, you know, turning very like grim and more pessimistic and stuff like that, which is not what Iris wants. And I feel like even when they switch back, like whatever happens here is still gonna follow them, you know, like it's still gonna weigh on them what they end up having to do. So favorite part of the episode was this.
Welcome to our farm. Oh, are you puffing on your chest? Yes.
Lois, I just love how done Barry looks. Like, he's like, we have more important things to worry about than you puffing out your chest in front of Clark Kent. So I'm just super looking forward to seeing the next part of the crossover, what it's gonna be like, and it's gonna be on Arrow, so maybe we'll see Felicity. I don't know, like, I know like they've said like who's not gonna be in it, who's gonna be in it, but I haven't been keeping up with any of that, so I don't know if she'll be on it, but I just want to see her reaction to, like, you know, thinking she's married to Barry and stuff like that, you know, like that, and William thinking that's his dad and everything. So we'll see what the villain's like. We'll see more of Batgirl, hopefully. I'm just super looking forward to it all. So if you have seen the first part of this crossover, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel down below to make all sorts of new videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!